Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesday. Coach Troy here. I'm in our recovery room today because we're going to be talking a lot about rest, recovery, and just how important it is for your training. So why is rest and recovery important? Well, you can't just keep redlining your body's engine and expecting good things to happen. Eventually, that engine's going to break down. We see it in our cars. Our bodies are no different and will probably break down before our cars will. So a bunch of different factors are going to go into how much rest and recovery you're going to need, and I've listed a bunch of them here so we can go over them. So if you don't get enough rest or recovering between your training sessions or days, you're going to find a few things. Number one, you're probably going to feel not as good as you would. Your energy levels could be low. You're not really performing the same in the gym. A lot of joint issues, so just some general joint pain or just muscle soreness that just doesn't go away. Those are really telltale signs about someone who isn't recovered enough going in from session to session. So if you aren't getting enough rest and recovery between those sessions, you're going to see that quite often you're going to get these training sessions where you feel like you're getting stronger, and then you're not going to be quite as strong, and you're going to see this downward trend up on this top graph here on how your training is really going to go. So over time, if you're not resting, recovering enough, you're going to see that decline in performance, and also energy levels are going to be your first sign. So if you are recovering enough between sessions, and we're going to go over what that means, you're going to see that your recovery is going to help you perform much better in the gym. So whether you're a runner or a cyclist or you're a weightlifter, powerlifter, whatever the case is, taking time away from training and making sure that you're cycling your training the way you should, you will see much greater benefit instead of just trying to redline and hammer your body all the time. So like I had mentioned, rest and recovery is going to depend on a bunch of different things. Most people need from 24 to 72 hours between, say, body parts or doing the same thing to make sure that they're rested or recovered enough to be able to attack that again. But again, everyone's different. That's why it's such a broad spectrum. The intensity, so how hard you're working out or how heavy that you're lifting, is going to play a role into that as well. The duration, so the duration of your exercise, so let's say if you're on a really long run or you did a 2-hour workout, well, to jump back into the next day, unless you're a really elite level athlete, you may not be able to do that. The volume, so this is a really important, crucial one. If your volume in your training, so let's just say in weightlifting or powerlifting, that's your repetitions times your sets and the weight that you've lifted. If you see that decline or not really change and it's supposed to, that's probably a good telltale sign that you should be recovering a little bit more between sessions. And we're going to be going over a couple of different programming methods to help you achieve that. Your current condition, so and also level of athlete, these two are really play hand in hand together. So if someone is in a very elite level who are, let's say, a power lifter who's lifting a lot of weight, they may need to take a little bit more time than someone, say, who is brand new and has the baby gains, as we like to call them. The reason for it is that they can just push their bodies a lot harder during those sessions, so they're going to need a little bit more time to recover than someone else. Diet, hydration is another huge one. So if you're not eating enough calories for you to do what you're doing, you're not going to be able to recover the same as you would if you were eating what you should be. And hydration as well. If you're underhydrated, your performance is going to suffer. We can see that time and time again. So it's going to play an enormous role on how much recovery you're really going to need between sessions. Sleep/naps. Guys, sleep and just a rest away from the gym is going to play an enormous factor on how well you're going to recover and be able to push yourself into those next sessions. We can see that time and time again. We're going to be going over a few methods on how to improve a bunch of these in the next clip. All right, so one way to handle the first three is just to make sure that you're training maybe a little bit differently than you have been. Most people get pretty comfortable with a certain rep range. So an easy fix for that is to just get yourselves using block periodization. We made a video and I linked it down below so you can get a good idea on what that is all about. So think about blocking your training into 3 to 5 week blocks and just keep within that same rep range for that duration. So what that's going to do is help prevent you from going, month after month after month into the same rep ranges and break it up a little bit so you're not always hammering the same thing. For you bodybuilders out there, a lot of times we see that's typically that 8 to 12 rep range. you can change it up and just do that block of training and always go back to the rep range that you really enjoy. The way to do that is or the best way that we can take care of the intensity and the volume is using one of those block periodization methods and just kind of block away using different rep ranges and different intensities. So to add to that block periodization, something that most people never do is take a deload week. So that just means taking 1 week after a block of training and just chopping some of your volume down so you're not beating up your body. An easy method for that is to take the amount of sets that you're doing, just chop that in half for a week across all exercises. You can keep your intensity pretty high and you're going to feel much better. And a lot of times we see PRs right after those deload weeks because you're giving your body a chance to catch up to the volume that you're throwing at it. So diet and hydration is one of those things when it comes to recovery that we can just really do ourselves a favor. To drink a little bit more water will serve you a huge purpose when it comes to your recovery. If you're already dehydrated going into the next session, you're probably not going to perform the way you should be. So you really need to make sure you stay on top of your hydration. I know I sound like an old grandmother, but I'd rather see you guys make sure that you're attacking that hydration and just with some effort to make sure that you're getting all the water requirements that you should be. Everyone's really different, but a good rule of thumb is, especially in warmer climates, to just try to drink a gallon a day for most people. Some of you won't be able to do that because you'll be smaller athletes. Some of you are going to be much bigger athletes or are going to need more than that. So work your way up. Don't just try to throw a bunch of water at your system at one time. Just over the course of a few days, just add another bottle or half bottle, and every few days keep working it up until you really see your performance will probably increase and you're just going to feel a lot better. So for your diet, an easy way to see just how much you really need to eat is to weigh yourself, and if you are remaining the same but your performance is lacking or declining, then try to eat a little bit more. Try another 300 calories and see what that does. If your weight stays the same but your performance is increasing, that's perfect if you're looking to be a performance athlete. And this really is going to be very goal dependent, so we're going to be getting into this quite a bit in future videos. But for the sake of this video, you have to eat enough to make sure you're performing well. So to eat enough so maybe you're not gaining any weight but you are gaining in performance is going to go a long way in helping you recover in between, to make sure you have enough protein and enough carbohydrates to fuel those workouts so you can feel like you can attack it. So sleep and naps. Look, I know in this day and age it's really tough to get the amount of sleep that we really need. Typically about 7 to 9 hours. Everyone's a bit different, but especially if you are training really hard, you may have to up the ante on your sleep. So an exercise that I would like you guys to do is, for 1 week, I want you to write down what you do almost as like a nightly routine. And we're gonna have to come up with a really good sleep hygiene schedule for you to just get better at sleeping. It's gonna take some work. So for 1 week, let's say if you see this today on Wednesday, so until next Wednesday, I want you to write down in a book or on your phone just what you do every single night. And after that week is done, that you've really plugged away and written everything down, take out one thing that you feel might be the biggest contributor to you not sleeping. and just kind of chip away at that. So if you do see your sleep improving, you don't need more apps. You just need to take a few things away from your nightly routine that'll probably save yourself a lot of heartache in the future. If you're not sleeping enough or deep enough, it can go a really long way. And if some people that may have a lot of trouble sleeping, just go and get a sleep study done and see your doctor to make sure that there's nothing underlying that's causing any bigger issues. So we believe so much in recovery that we literally created a space for our clients and athletes to do it in here at Inspired. We use amazing tools like Normatex over there. So now what that does, it's going to mimic the way your body's going to get rid of some of the inflammation and metabolites that you create by working really hard at high intensity or crazy volume or at really long duration. Your body's going to produce these metabolites. There's a couple hundred different variations of them. So what it's going to do is it's going to help flush some of those out. You know, if you've gone for a really hard run or a bike and you jump back on the bike the next day, if you haven't really flushed them out, your legs burn really, really quickly, right? So jumping into those Normatex to help flush out those metabolites so you don't feel that burn as quick as you typically would if you didn't use them. It's a huge, really, really valuable tool that we see so many to be able to take advantage of. Over 90% of professional sport teams use the Normatex systems, and we want to make sure that everybody that had access to it, you don't have to be an elite athlete to recover the way you should. So using things like massage and, massagers like this Tim Tam, there's other great companies out there as well. We've got a couple of these in-house that we like to use with our clients and athletes, is a great alternative to honestly nothing, to in between those sessions with your therapist. So whether it's a chiro, an athletic therapist, an osteo, a massage therapist, nothing's really going to replace someone who's really, really good with those modalities. But this is a great in-between to help you kind of in between those sessions to make sure you're recovering a little bit better, just to kind of break up those DOMs. So like the soreness, that delayed onset of muscle soreness that you typically get when you're working really, really hard. Sometimes you just need to kind of break it down a little bit and just feel better. So if you are going to feel better, odds are you're going to train a little bit harder. So to use one of these is going to be a great tool to help you recover even better. So another huge thing that can really contribute to you recovering better is doing breathing exercises. It's something that has gained a little bit of popularity, but nowhere near enough. So to do things like breathing exercises is something you can do at pretty much any time, whenever you see it most valuable. There's some great books out there, like The Oxygen Advantage is a great book to teach you how to breathe better. I know it sounds crazy, but especially in training, we see that people will typically collapse or kind of drop off when it comes to performance just because their breathing isn't the way it should be. So just like anything else, breathing for performance is going to be a skill as the same as it would be for recovery. So to do some breathing exercises, the same as we would see with a lot of high-level athletes, to bring that into your own training to every single day. So as you can see, guys, we're really excited about the recovery room and how it's been able to help so many of our clients and athletes. Look, we want to make sure that tools that were only available really to most pro teams are available to everybody. We have everyone from different walks of life and sport using it to get the most out of their training and their recovery so they can hammer that training even better. We love making these Whiteboard Wednesday videos for you guys. Keep the comments and keep the suggestions coming. We can't wait to see more of you and just more of those comments and whatever you think might help for your own recovery as well. So what things that that you do for your own recovery to help you in between your sessions. That's it for me, guys. We'll see you soon.